don't really have an intro. We currently streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/PBJ. If y'all want to come watch these streams live, please pull up. My schedule it's a little f***ed up, but if you follow the boy, you'll get them notifications. You sub to the boy, you get the notifications. So pull up to my immersion. We just finished listening to the Good Kid, Mad City album and watching the short film made by Kendrick. So we're gonna hop into this video by Chelito. By Chelito to dive deeper into the songs, talk about them, figure out what the meanings behind them were. Let's get it. Iron said this will be fun.
Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. I honestly doubt it. Here,
this is the perfect chance, man.
The album. We're gonna be dissecting every story, meaning and how this is Kendrick's greatest album. Kendrick Lamar.
Whoa, yo! I saw Shireen ass. I saw it. I caught it. Damn. You saw it. Chat. Look, fine. Coco went to say hi. Anybody else? Well, actually, I don't have my YouTube chat on screen yet.
Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City.
Sorry, y'all gotta pull up to the Twitch.
No, it tells the story of
humble plug.
The success he is today by battling his inner demons, trauma, and how in just one single day, Kendrick would be faced with the hardest choice of his life. So, what does it mean to be a good kid in a mad city?
I can explain it in my own words. Not right now, but I'm a good kid. I grew up in a mad city. Well, I wouldn't even say a mad city. I say I'm a good kid who grew up around a crazy, like a mad family. So like the city was my family in this case. Some of this shit I related to crazy, actually.
The album starts with a prayer.
Lord God, I come to you as sinner, and I humbly repent for my sins.
Now this is no doubt the most important line of the entire album, and somehow it's the first thing we hear. A rather interesting way to start, since it gives us a sense of remorse and repentance. But who are these people and what are they praying for? That's when you start getting the sense
they're
of
sinners. He just said it, man.
Not being right.
This is where Shireen come in.
Sound that represents a key figure in this album, a girl that would change the whole trajectory of everything to come after, Shireen. The song kicks off at this house party in Compton where a young 17-year-old Kendrick meets this girl.
I've never been to a house party. Actually, I'm lying. I've been to one house party, but we started playing fucking Spin the Bottle, right? But for those of you who don't know my face, I look very young for my age. But at the time, especially in high school, I was probably around the same age, 17, but you could say I passed out as a middle schooler, like on the highest of keys, but I feel like I looked like a high schooler, but motherfucker started playing Spin the Bottle, bitch landed on me. The girl looked at me, I looked back at her. She looked back at me and she said, he looked too young. I feel like I'm gonna get arrested. Why am I at this party? If you're gonna get hello? If you don't kiss me? Long story short, I didn't get the kiss that night.
Girl, Shireen.
I met her at this house party on El Segundo in Central. She had the credentials of
Sucks.
Hello, my name is
Damn.
I know you're handsome. Whispered in my ear, disappeared, then found her dancing.
She's captivating. It's beyond anything he's felt before. But this girl, Shireen, becomes a huge temptation for Kendrick. The way that he describes her, all rough and focusing on her physicality, shows the youthful impulsiveness that drives
He's trying to fuck.
so many of his decisions in this album. This is where the concept of choice
He's
starts
trying to
take place.
smash.
We learned in the song that Shireen is affiliated with gang in her family.
Her favorite cousin Demetrius is a reputable family history of gang banging did make me skeptical.
He's able to acknowledge
He don't care.
these red flags, but still chooses to pursue her anyways, driven by his lust. So when
That
the
ain't got nothing to do with him.
opportunity presents itself for Kendrick to go over, he doesn't hesitate to take his mom's van and drive straight to her house.
Mom, I'm finna use the van real quick. Be back 15 minutes.
15 minutes though. Think about that. 15 minutes. Like, how long does it take to get over there? You already taken away from your time. That means you're gonna get up in there, slide in, bust real quick, and slide back out, right? And then you gotta drive right back home because knowing a Compton kid, shit, black mamas, you said 15 minutes, they expect you back in 10. The fuck?
But as Kendrick inches closer and closer to Shireen, the track here suddenly stops. A very simple story. Boy meets girl, girl becomes...
When I was listening to this on the album, I definitely thought that implied that he ended by dying because 2 black hoodies just there? He about to get backdoored.
Consequences begin. But after this point, you're left wondering, what just happened? Are these 2 hooded people involved with Shireen? Was
Pause.
This all a plot towards
Backdoor?
Even considering Kendrick's mom refers
Technically.
to Shireen as a hood rat in the ending skit of the song.
Kendrick, where you at? Damn, sitting here waiting on my van. You told me you was gonna be back in 15 minutes. You on your way or what? I hope you ain't out there messing with them damn hood rats out there, especially that crazy ass girl Shireen.
As the album progressed,
Yo, mom, stop talking about my girl like that, bro. I don't want to get crazy, but mom, I'm about to get crazy.
you're able to see that Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter, is sort of a starting point for Kendrick to confront his own identity. Who is Kendrick? Who does Kendrick want to become? It represents a crossroads where the wrong choice can lead to horrible outcomes. So who is Kendrick gonna choose to be after this just happened? Vibe is
Just
the
don't kill my
second and most
vibe.
favorable song off the album.
That
And
ass.
introduces us to a new version of Kendrick. No longer K-Dot, the young boy from Compton, but Kendrick as he is from the release of this
Bro, what happened to his boyish smile? No. He used to be plucky and happy.
album. In the song, Kendrick talks to different people, with each perspective being able to help us understand his message a little better. First, having a conversation with God, talking to him as a sinner.
I am a sinner who's
Taking the time to rant to
Damn,
God
they have to
about
take it
how
out
he doesn't
for
like where rap is
copyright,
going,
I'm certain.
telling him that his music is meant to send a message of love and courage, but others just use it to get famous.
Yerp. I wish he was able to play it.
Here, seeking guidance from God.
Yeah, I ran it back just to make sure,
Here,
but yeah, that
seeking
sucks.
guidance from God as he
It is what it
navigates his
is.
new fame. This can also be interpreted as Kendrick having a conversation with two sides of himself. One side,
I was
is
thinking
super
that.
confident. This side of him feels inspired. and
This is what I
believes
was
that he can
thinking.
reach great heights in
That
his
he's got
career.
his I'm getting rich ass side and his
But then there's
like,
the other side that feels
good kid
unsure,
side.
weighted down by everything that comes with being famous.
mm-hmm.
Two voices going back and forth throughout the song. Then there's Kendrick talking directly to you, the listener. He's trying to stay focused on what's important to him, but people around him are just messing with his vibe, distracting him. The song basically saying, leave me alone, let me do my thing without any of
Just
this
don't kill my
bad
vibe.
energy." All three of these are valid points and can be used to interpret the song better. And even though this song has no significance to the actual narrative of the album, its solo story is able to capture where Kendrick's mind is at from writing this album. But what does all of that have to do with this?
K-Dot, get in the car. Before we finna roll out. I got a pack of blacks and a beat CD. Get your freestyles ready.
Backseat freestyle.
was the third song off the album, and
This
you
shit
can
went off
immediately tell
too.
the disconnect from the last previous tracks. While those two were focused more on explaining something to you through this sort of calmer beat,
Yeah, I felt like the backseat freestyle was more of like a, you know, I'm starting off talking about, you know, some deep shit, but then my friends pulled up. So like we off to do some hood rat shit real quick, like hop in the car with us. That's what I took
freestyle
from it.
jumps right off the bat with this more aggressive tone. And it's easy to know why, since we know who's rapping here.
Hey, I'm
down for living life confined. It's a failure, even if I'm blind. I can tell you who, what, when, where, how to sell your game right on time.
Putting us back in the eyes of that younger Kendrick from the first track. But the last we heard of him, he was caught up with Shireen and these two hooded people. So what happened? Remember, this story isn't linear. As a matter of fact, this song is one of the first events that happened throughout the day, with Kendrick getting stopped a couple hours later. The story in this song isn't anything crazy like some of the songs coming up, but it's this sort of click that puts everything into motion. Right off the bat, you can immediately tell that this song is just Kendrick freestyling in the back of the car, and that's it. But what is interesting about it is that it's able to help us understand how we're supposed to view this younger version of Kendrick, because we learn, one, he's easily influenced when he's around his friends, focused on power, money, and women.
Money and power.
He's two, extremely young, talking about what he does.
I pray my get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can flip the world for
72 hours.
Three is scared all the time. Let's take a pause here and try to learn who exactly is in this car, because these are Kendrick's friends. And while it's not
these hood
important
rats,
to
these
identify
hoodlums,
who each person is, it is important to know how big of an impact they have on this kid. So if Kendrick doesn't think about change in what's coming next, these friends will be the reason that his life is about to take the biggest U-turn you've ever seen in your entire life.
Facts. Yeah, the art of peer pressure. There we go.
Probably one of the most intuitive songs off the album, and really starts pushing the needle forward compared to other songs prior. So what's going on here? The song is an immediate continuation of Backseat Freestyle, and we now know that that song was literally just Kendrick rapping in the back of the car. But as mentioned earlier, these friends aren't people to mess around with. And Kendrick,
they're
despite
gangsters.
how he's been acting so far, is only doing it to gain some brownie points from these people. Because the truth is, Kendrick doesn't like to get into any trouble. He wants to stay as far away from gangs as possible. He really is just a good kid. But the second he decides to step into that car,
but shit like that gets you, man.
so as Kendrick continues to drive around the city,
Unfortunately,
the more and more his friends want to do. Now, keep in mind that he's been in this car all day, and the amount of things that they've been doing is beyond explaining.
Me and my niggas 4 deep in a white Toyota, a quarter tank of gas, one doing orange soda.
They meet some girls, they get interrogated by rival gangs, just trying to cause as much trouble as they can. But at some point during this ride, someone passes Kendrick a blunt. Again, Kendrick does not want to do this.
I don't even
No
smoke.
idea what's in it, who gave it to him, but it doesn't matter, right? Right?
He laced.
Well, we'll get to that later. After driving around for what seemed like hours, they end up in front of a house. And Kendrick already knows what's about to happen. He is not about to break into that house. Think of the consequences. Think of your mom. Consequences? Look at us. Everyone's already going in. If we don't go, imagine how bad everyone's gonna see us. The risk isn't worth it. Look at him. He's scared. He's not like them. One wrong move could ruin everything. Okay, but one good move can make him a legend.
This kind of reminds me of there's another YouTuber that does animations. His name hit my mind for like half a second. Swoozy. This reminds me kind of a Swoozy video, an earlier
In the
Swoozy.
streets. Think about it. You're making this a big deal when no one's even home. No, you know what? There's no way in a million years we're going in there, especially to break in. And that's final.
I hit the back window and
He does it anyway. Yeah, duh.
DVDs, plasma screen TVs in the trunk.
But then, as predicted, the worst.
Swoozy used to be my nigga for real.
Hey, got there's somebody in this room. There's somebody in this room.
Panicking, they sprint back to their car and speed off. They have to escape these cops as fast as possible.
We made a right, they made a left, they made a right, they made a left. But they made a right, they made a left, they made a right, they made a right. One lucky night with the homies.
The song is really about this persona Kendrick has been building for himself from each
Got
of these
lucky
tracks.
as
And
hell,
really
bro.
is a battle between the angel who wants to make it out of Compton and the devil saying to fit in since this is how his life is supposed to turn out. But his friends keep weighing him down. Whatever they do, he feels pressured to do the same, which then turns into
Get
this
off of that.
constant cycle of trouble, which bleeds exactly into what happens.
That sound like a
right
black
after.
mama, bro.
Got you faded up? Yeah, we finally got that faded. On now. I think he hit the wrong blunt though. Alright, here's the plan, love. Kick back as an alibi. Wait till the sun go down, roll out, drop K Dot off at his mama's van. Cause I know he's trying to fuck Sherane tonight. And we all meet back at the block at about 10:30. Matter of fact,
I know he's trying to fuck
we
Sherane.
trying to get at that.
Yeah, bitch.
Money Trees is the most listened song on the album, and for good reason. If you, the listener, are looking at this song for the first time, what do you think of? Do you think of a
People are waking up there. Kendrick has done some huge things. Super Bowl show, I really hope the right people interpret it in the right way, if that makes sense. I hope so as well, because I feel like when it comes to Super Bowl shows, and this is just a little side thing real quick, I feel like when it comes to Super Bowl shows, you are exposing yourself to a much larger audience. It's kind of like you can tell jokes to your friends, but when that same joke gets to other people, people judge you differently or they read into it differently. They don't understand the context behind it. So I really hope that the Super Bowl show does get interpreted properly. Otherwise, I'm afraid people are just going to look at it like, oh, Kendrick did some black shit again anyway. And it's bigger than that, but I really hope people see it as more than just some black shit.
tall, humongous tree filled with a bunch of money? Maybe a metaphor for a wealthy person? Or could it mean something completely different? After Kendrick got dropped off at his mom's van, he decides to drive back home. But as he drives back, he starts to think a bit. Think about where his life is going. So as he's driving, he's thinking about his past, thinking about his future, thinking about money. So far, every passing moment, the house break-in was about stealing valuable things.
Hit that house, they tell me, is you with it, you bitch? From 9 to 5, I know it's vacant, you bitch.
The rapping in the car was about how rich he wants to become.
Me and my niggas tryna get it, you bitch. Yeah, bitch. Then freeze that verse when we see dollar signs.
Everything is
From
revolved
9
around
to
getting
5,
a
I
dollar.
know it's
As
empty.
Kendrick
That's
is
bad.
doing all of these horrible things, he's thinking about this dream of living the rapper's life with the money and the cars.
Dream to living life like rappers do. Like rappers do, like rappers.
But then he remembers where he's from, so he's willing to do anything to get that check. He then starts to think about how he's gonna be able to have the most beautiful wife when he makes it, saying that everything in his life could be going horribly wrong. But if he just had some
money,
all of the issues in the entire world would magically disappear because he would have complete and utter power over everything and everyone, making his life perfect.
Bro, that's what money do. That's exactly what money do. Don't tell me money don't buy happiness. I know it does. Y'all trying to trick me. You're trying to trick me. I know it does.
From a piece of paper. But at the same time, Kendrick knows that what he's doing is wrong and unethical. So now he can pick the good or the bad. The good, obviously, being don't steal, and the bad, doing risky things to get money quickly. In his heart, there's one side of him that wants to start doing the right thing, which he calls hallelujah, and another part that just wants the lust of money and excitement, which he calls Halle Berry. Each side trying to pull him into a different direction, but then a realization. How is money viewed? Sure, money can get you the girl, but Kendrick wants real love. So now he's just looking at her as a distraction.
I'm looking for a real love.
Like climbing the mountain of life. People will
Yo,
take their
bucket
backpacks full of
head
necessities
hoes, bro.
and their morals, you know, things they love, but it's a lot of stuff, so it's heavy. So it's
Look, I
crazy
hate
what
money
people are
too.
willing to
I
do to
wish
get up the
that-
mountain faster. Dropping stuff
I
in their
wish that
backpacks more and
we
more
could
just
live in
to
a
get to the
society where
top
people
first. So
would
when you get
keep
up there, you
doing
forget why you
good
even climbed up here in the first place.
without
Does Kendrick
needing the
want that?
influence
So
of
far,
money,
Kendrick
but
has been
then
kinda
there's the value
immature,
of it and
but
how it
this is showing an
motivates
awakening
people
what he
to
can finally do to
actually
change.
push
So
forward.
this is it.
Sucks.
After seeing Sherane later, his life is about to completely change. he can actually make it out of Compton. All of these trials and tribulations for Kendrick to wake up and finally realize he can make it out. Oh, wait. Poetic Justice is seen as one of those songs on every album about love. So this is a love story between Kendrick and Shireen, right? Well, not exactly. First, Poetic Justice is used as a literary device, being a sort of special tool that writers use to make their stories more interesting and lively.
They get ended in this video, no?
Phrase like Poetic Justice, think about someone who's always been too busy
at the party
love and just pushes
somebody got
away
shot.
anyone who's ever cared about them. But then one day they fall deeply in love with someone else, but they end up being too busy for them. That person finally gets what it's like and realizes they need a change. Poetic Justice takes place right after the events of the first song, where we saw Kendrick meet Shireen and fall in love with her. But what I didn't mention is that Kendrick meeting Shireen to the drive to her house take place months apart from each other. And there's a bunch of crucial information in those months that we need to break down. So from that first song, we can see that Kendrick likes Shireen. But the thing is that he doesn't just like Shireen, he likes Shireen.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say
So every passing moment,
Iron, I don't think there's a real way to completely reform the monetary structure this late into the game, unfortunately.
Or wanting her, but he starts seeing that something is kind of off about her because she's always with the wrong crowd and she likes him one day and the other completely ignores him. Turns out Shireen has been sneaking around with other dudes, and the dude she messes around with in this song is, you know, not important.
It's Drake.
Except Kendrick likes this. He likes the chase. How complicated their relationship is really has him thinking that she really wants him. So he starts doing everything he can to start to understand her and get as close to her as possible, becoming friends with her friends, acting cool, but nothing seems to work. Time passes and she eventually gives in, and Kendrick and Shireen start talking more and more every day, but it's extremely clear that she's only using him for one thing. So here we are, sitting on the curb with her, looking as beautiful as ever. And Kendrick starts telling her about this dream he has about true love. He talks about how love should be more than just, you know, taking the skin boat to Tuna Town. It should have a more deeper emotional connection. And if they actually fell in love, Kendrick would be able to protect her and save her from this situation that she's in. Shireen, looking at Kendrick,
she was like,
she tells him
what?
She's not looking for anything that serious. So she tells him no, but they can still smash pistons whenever. And you know what Kendrick says to this? After everything he's done trying to find true love with this girl. Okay. You know what's really good about this song is that it's placed right smack in the middle. So at this point, you're able to get familiar with everyone and how they would act. We already know Shireen is bad because she led Kendrick to these two guys a couple songs back. So the whole time you're thinking, well, duh, Kendrick doesn't want to be with this girl, she's bad. But Kendrick doesn't know that. All he knows is that he met this girl at a party and he really likes her. Every song has been building up, showing us every fumble Kendrick has taken so that he can learn. Because if we compare Kendrick,
Iron, I think you're going to be banking on that for a while.
Shireen as someone he can smash, to now you can see how much he's changing. So us as the listener are forced to see Kendrick do the wrong thing, knowing that he would eventually change. Kinda.
One more time, homie. Your grandma stay with your mom. Oh, this is when they were talking to him. Damn. Wait.
Good Kid is in.
Nah, wait. That just fucked me up. That two-timing ugly ass bitch. Shireen, you ugly ass. Yo, lace front fucked up.
Interesting because
you got Kenny caught.
Like to group it with its other half song, Mad City. Now, these two songs aren't here to capture how Kendrick feels or acts, but it's really about what the city of Compton has done to him. Wait, I'm sorry. What the heck just happened? Kendrick just got threatened by these two men and the song just glosses over that? This is possibly the worst situation Kendrick could ever be in right now. This can ruin his future, his relationships. What can he do? Exactly. What can he do? Good Kid sees him stuck. Everyone's left him alone and he's left with no other option but to think, having his whole life play out in his mind. And every time he replays it, all he can think to himself is how in every situation he's tried his best and be good. Sure, he's had his stumbles, but he was truly ready to change now. So what's happening? What is he missing? Maybe he's gone too far with his friends. Maybe it was Shireen. Heck, it could have been himself. Looking around, knowing that no 17-year-old should ever be in this situation. Ever since he was young, he's felt trapped in the walls of his own mind, as if the walls are slowly closing in and there's nothing that he can do to stop it. That's why he's so scared and anxious all the time. Kendrick again has a flashback on walking home from Bible study one day. All seems good and calm for once, and then some dudes spot him and assume that he's part of a rival gang. They don't ask questions, they immediately see him as a threat. He knows that even though he's not involved in stuff like this, he can be attacked for just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. The chorus also acts as a reflection of the chaos in the city, calling it a mass hallucination and ill education, meaning that people are caught in this shared illusion and broken way of thinking, where violence, fear, and hate just seem normal. If we look at the album cover, it perfectly sums up what I'm talking about. We see a baby Kendrick surrounded by guns and alcohol, violence. This is all Kendrick's ever known. Again, coming back to reality. Kendrick, now helpless and powerless, just sits there for hours. The room's so quiet, all you can hear is his own heartbeat. Seeing nothing that can help, he sits there and he prays. Prays that if he's able to get out of this situation, he knows that it will be meant to be. Everything he's been going through is there to make him stronger. If he can escape this house, he can show the world that staying a good kid can actually pay off. Then the song stops. No.
Chat, sometimes you for real got to go through some hard stuff to grow. Actually. Well, chat, stream may have frozen, but my video's still recording.
No explanation, no skip.
I think. We'll see. But let's see what's going on.
Okay. Other half of Good Kid, we just saved Kendrick. Oh my gosh. Mad City is the most intensifying song, as it blew everyone away the first time they listened to it. But the way that it comes in with this veracity is not just for show. It's probably one of the most important parts of this entire album, which is super crucial to know later. We'll get to it. So what is happening? I know a lot of information just hit your brain, so let's do a little recap. Kendrick goes to see Shireen. Shireen purposely set him up to get interrogated by these two guys. They locked him up, and Kendrick's friends just came to save his life. That means that Kendrick's prayer to God is now in full effect. So did God send my friends? Did Shireen really set me up? So many thoughts start rushing.
Bro, Shireen setting him up crazy. That's the
why he needs to get out of this
biggest
city.
twist of 2025 for me so far.
In Pakistan, where people keep dying, and how somehow it's normal for you to
I thought we liked Shireen, bro.
Kendrick being only 9 years old and watching someone get shot for the first time. That moment switching his mindset forever. The more and more Kendrick thinks, the worse his thoughts get. If you listen closely, you can hear Kendrick's voice break down at the brink of tears the further we get into the song.
Ugly waving your hand out the window, check yourself. Now crawl your head in that noose. You wind up dead on the news.
It's almost like he can't take it anymore. Why is this happening to him? There's a specific phrase in this song that explains it better than I ever could.
Where you from? Who you know? Where you from? Where your grandma stay? Huh?
It almost sounds like what those guys said to Kendrick earlier.
Grandma stay.
Where I'm from, okay? You gonna tell me where you from, okay? Or where your grandma stay.
But why is it here? And why is it so distorted and low? Well, the answer to that is actually extremely simple.
Wake your punk, suck. It ain't nothing but a Compton thing.
If we go back all the way to the art of peer pressure, I told you guys that Kendrick took a blunt with a bit of some of that powdered sugar, remember?
Nah.
So the true effects of that blunt haven't started hitting him until he started running for his life in the beginning. Probably why he was able to outrun those guys, huh? So this
he got a speed boost, bro.
Talking insane and going crazy was him hallucinating in the car as him and his friends were driving away. He can't get over how crazy his life is. Did you not see what just happened to him? It was insane. He gets serious and tells us that no matter how bad he makes his story seem about Compton, no one will ever understand what it was like to be a kid going through this, because it was bad. Worse than I can ever explain it. And that's the message between these two songs. No matter how many times Kendrick is influenced to go out with his friends or be with Shireen, the city as a whole can destroy him as a person. So Kendrick tweaking in the back eventually makes his friends park the car. There's a pretty good distance away from the house, so I think it's a good time for
Swimming pools
is the 9th song on this album, and it's funny how a lot of people view this as a club song telling people to drink and party, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. First, what exactly is swimming pools? Well, a swimming pool being a place of fun and jumping in the water, but here imagine the swimming pool being made into
I really like this video. I really like the way he's breaking it down. Also, I fuck with the visuals heavy.
entirely
I
of
fuck with the
liquor, and
visuals
addicted
heavy
people
on
are
this.
jumping in. This song steps away from everything and focuses on how Kendrick just promised himself he wouldn't get involved in stuff like this. If he can escape this house, he can show the world that staying a good kid can actually pay off. Telling his friends about last time they told him to drink. Picture this, Kendrick is at a party, everyone is drinking, the vibes are exciting, and then boom. You can see that people are drinking to escape their sadness, others just doing it to be accepted by their friends. So Kendrick at this party is, of course, not a drinker, but he stands there, watching, observing, seeing what everyone is doing. When all of a sudden his friends end up right next to him, all extremely drunk, pushing him to drink with them. But after some persistent noise, he ends up giving in because someone called him a pussy. See, now that's where you cross the line. So he starts drinking with them, and shot after shot, the room gets darker and louder, drinking more and more to keep up with his friends. Then comes a crucial point. Kendrick hears a voice, the voice of his conscience, warning him about the dangers of drinking too much.
Open your mind up and listen to me, Kendrick.
For that 1 second, he realizes what he's been doing, since he knows that drowning too much in this poison can lead to a crazy addiction and ruin his life. But Kendrick's already gone too far.
Bro, sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you really do be too far gone.
To expect the worst in his life. And this
you stop, but you definitely are too far gone.
Make an excuse that your relief is in the bottom of a bottle and the green is in the leaf.
We go back to Kendrick explaining this to his friends, but they aren't listening. They still think that he's shooken up after what happened to him earlier. And so fueled by rage, the only thing on their minds from all of this is revenge. How can he get back at those people who did this to him? They can't
to
let
our
this
boy,
slide.
right?
They have to end those guys' life. Without a second thought, they jump back in their car and they go back. Kendrick, not wanting to go, tries to become the voice of
He's
reason,
like, actually,
but they just
matter
keep
of fact,
faster and faster. Even though these two have nothing to do
I'm
with
kind of
it,
angry.
it's necessary to protect him here. And we know that Kendrick is changing, but even him being on this car going back is the single most important part of this
But
album.
just when I thought I had enough,
They stopped to hum me out over a bitch. We gonna do the same old shit. I'm gonna pop a few shots. They gonna run opposite way. Right
I hope that set him up out there. We gonna pop that too.
Wait, hold up. Hey.
Wait, hold up.
Got the niggas. Get out. You good? You good?
Yeah, blood, I'm good. Dang, you good?
Hey, say something.
Damn.
Hey, these niggas kill my brother.
Yerp. Dang.
Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst is the most important song. Throughout this album,
This song hit the
this
feels.
overarching
This
story
song hit the
taking
feels
place about
crazy.
love and violence, and Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst serves as that climax that a lot of stories have, that is meant to completely motivate the character just for a chance of making a difference. So why is this song specifically so important? Well, this song is cut up into two parts. First, Sing About Me and I'm Dying of Thirst, which we'll find out the meaning of later. Throughout the album, we've been following Kendrick and his group of friends, and unfortunately, we just saw one of Kendrick's closest friends pass away after trying to get revenge for him earlier. Now, this song isn't revolved around that friend, who we later learned is named Dave, but is focused on Dave's brother, who I'm calling DB, and how he reacts to finding out what happened. DB just saw his brother die right in front of him, but time goes on and we see him thanking Kendrick, thanking him for always showing so much love to Dave. Even in Dave's dying moments, Kendrick held him, making him feel safe. Even though in this moment he's completely helpless, just the being there meant so much to DB. We go back to a specific
That's crazy.
day where
That's
it's
so
just
crazy,
Kendrick
though.
and DB alone, sitting, thinking about life.
That's actually
and
really
for the
sad.
first time in forever, they have a genuine talk, putting Kendrick in this high pedestal since he has this huge passion to make it out of Compton, because for him it was all lost when he was just a kid, telling him about how much he loves his raps and prays that one day when he makes it big, he'll tell their story, shedding light to all those other kids going through the same situation, making sure that his memory is never forgotten. So fueled by rage, he can't get over his brother's death. It's the same nightmare every night, so he goes for vengeance. But one slip up ended his life. But Kendrick here, fulfilling his wish to sing about me, ending his verse with the final words, am I worth it?
Right now, man. Like, we right here. Brother, they just killed the only brother, man. Just come, all right, just call me back, man. Come back. So what we gonna do, man? What we gonna do? Bruh, we can go back right now, man. We can go back right now.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of fucking running. I'm tired of this. My brother, homie.
I am tired of running. Song after song, it's been issue after issue, problem after problem.
Like, that's just what it's like in the
They're
hood,
tired of running,
unfortunately.
they're tired of hunting, they're tired of living this life of crime, chasing these empty goals. They just watched their friend die and just want to find a way to stop all this madness. Kendrick and his friends start to reflect, saying,
How many sins? I lost count.
they've sinned too much and the Reaper is calling. Death is always close by and feel like there's no escape. So how are they all going to change? It's a cycle of violence, greed, temptation, repentance that keeps pulling them in. But breaking free from that cycle is an uphill battle.
And what's crazy is that that's like life in general. Just straight up, everybody, even if you're not like in the hood, even if you're not living that life, you have your own some type of cycle. Maybe you are a good kid, you live in the suburbs, but like your parents drink or like they gamble all the time. There's just like there's always this like circle of something that you're watching going on throughout life. And some people, they identify it. They see it. They're like, I got to make a change. I got to make a difference because I'm tired of seeing this circle. Some people successfully get out the circle. Some people don't. Before they get out the circle, maybe their life's over. By the time they get out the circle, maybe, you know, whatever they're trying to get out the circle for, it's too late. It's just, damn.
But then the most unexpected but beautiful thing happens.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of young running. Come talk to me. My brother, homie, is that what I think that is? I know that's not what I think. Why are you so angry? See, you young men are dying of thirst. Do you know what that means? That means you need water, holy water. You need to be baptized with the Spirit of the Lord. Do you want to receive God as your personal Savior? Okay, repeat after me. Lord God, I come to you a sinner. Lord God, I come to you a sinner.
The phrase dying of thirst isn't about needing water. It's about feeling spiritually empty, desperate for something greater. This lady helping these young men with the sinner's prayer, turning their life into Jesus. No longer running, no longer living a life of crime and revenge, but living for him. Releasing themselves of this horrible mentality and ready to live this life as a newly found person. And while people like DB were victim of not following through with this newly found mentality, people who did were able to find something greater.
All right now, remember this day, the start of a new life, your real life.
Real life.
I mean, at this point, we could have just ended the album right here, right? We just went from Kendrick being this easily influenced little immature kid to him having this beautiful redemption at the end. So why continue? Well, I like to think of this song as a bowl of cereal because you have two ingredients. You have the cereal and you have the milk. Both in their own regards are perfectly fine separate, but when combined together, magic. So this side of the story is done, right? It's over? Well, kinda. I like to think that there's one final puzzle piece to make this album whole. This song begins right after with Kendrick expressing pride in who he finally is. This is really important because it sets the stage for the main message of the song, being real. But what does that actually mean? After Kendrick took that leap to being true to himself, he realized what's going on with so many other people. He points out how everyone loves material things, fancy clothes, fast cars, money, and they believe that these things will make them happy.
But what love got to do with it when you don't love yourself?
No matter how much you love these material things or other people, if you don't love and accept yourself, none of it really matters. So real isn't about what you have or what other people think of you. It's about knowing yourself and your own worth. Well, true, but there's so much more to it than just that. Throughout the album, we've been getting voicemails from Kendrick's parents. And at first, these voicemails are very sporadic.
Hey, where my motherfucking dominoes at? It's the second time
Bro,
I asked
dominoes, bro.
Dominoes. I want your body, look at that big old fat.
See, hell, he ain't even tripping off them dominoes no more. Just bring the car back.
Did somebody say domino?
Don't hang up. Damn, let me Kendrick, when you get this message, man, call me back.
But one thing is extremely clear. Kendrick's parents are flustered. His mom constantly asking for the van back. His dad high as hell the whole time. So they must not be important. Actually, these two characters might be the most important people. At some point after this whole ordeal, Kendrick's parents call him for a third time. Not calling, asking about the car or dominoes, but actually talking to him. His dad starts by apologizing for what happened to Dave.
Gang, I ain't tripping up from dominoes no more. Just call me. Sorry to hear what happened to your homeboy.
He tells him that what those people did to him, that's not being real.
How
For him,
sweet.
being real is responsibility. It's taking care of your family. Real is God. His mom takes the phone and tells Kendrick that Top Dog, the music label, called asking if they could hear more from him, saying that they loved what they've been listening to so far, and if he actually put all of his energy into it, who knows where it can take him, ending the conversation with something that would push him forward to pursuing this rapping thing.
If I don't hear from you,
Would you guys say that, or if any of you know, would you say that Kendrick's mom supported him the whole time? Because I feel like what happens a lot of the time is that they don't believe in you until they see it work. Until they see like, oh shit, you made $10 from that lemonade stand. Maybe you can make something out of this. But like for the whole week, they were saying, bro, stop, get off the lemonade stand.
Compton is the final chapter
right?
of Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. And it brings
It's
everything
bittersweet,
we've seen in
I
this
feel.
album to this powerful conclusion. And when you listen to it, it sounds happy. Kind of like a celebration. And in all honesty, that's exactly what it is. This album has been crazy. I hope you see why so many people are in love with it and can't stop obsessing over this man. But there's one final chapter to this story to finally close this book shut. So, taking place way in the future, Kendrick pursued rap, he signed that deal with Top Dog. We're finally seeing Kendrick at a moment of triumph. He made it, he's at the top, dropping song after song, win after win. The fame and the money keep stacking up. Life couldn't be going any better. And with fame, he can throw that whole past life behind him. Who cares about everyone else? He's the one who's up. Not a single thought has to go to Compton or that horrible life ever again. I'm gonna pause you right there. Even though Kendrick is at the top, he's never gonna forget where he came from. Kendrick loves the city and the people that are in it. He embraces it, not looking down on it, but holding it to a pedestal for making it who he is today. Giving back to the people of Compton just as he promised his mom. Showing homage to the city, its people, and its culture. The city is united as one. If the album is a story of Kendrick trying to find a way in the midst of chaos, Compton is that resolution where everything comes full circle. If you've been following this far, then you know that the story of Good Kid, Mad City is deeply rooted on the idea of change. Kendrick says that all kids in Compton are good kids, they just live in the Mad City. It changes people, it becomes their norm. So by him telling this story of his introduction to this world, to then his everyday life, to his eventual victory, it shows people that they can change too. We saw Kendrick at his worst in Compton, dealing with Shireen, the constant fear of walking outside, to that key moment changing everything for Kendrick, pushing him to achieve more. A story of personal change from an immature teenager to a seasoned adult. Parents focused on dominoes to passing down lessons on being a man. To us,
where my damn dominoes at?
Group of friends go from troubled teenagers to converted Christians. Change is at the key center of all of it, showing you that whatever situation you're going through in life, with change, you can overcome it too. So find your good kid in a mad city and overcome it.
Okay. That was a good video. Definitely like that video. Guys, please check out Chelito. He's got more videos like this with the same quality. Bro, he's definitely got a fan out of me. Funny thing, I've actually seen this one, like part of this one. So, you know, fuck around. I'll subscribe to him now. Subscribe to the boy. Bye guys. I don't know how to end a video yet. We'll get it one of these days.